Hello, Ally team. I'm here in Delaware, Texas, working on the biogas project. I've been promoted to the manure handling division, and those who know me say it's a perfect fit. But I'm even more excited about getting to welcome you to our first virtual all-hands meeting. Over the next 4 hours, we'll be giving you a pile of information. And as excited as I am to clean these barns, I'm even more excited to share our past, present, and our future. So plug your nose, but open your minds, and let's enjoy our fantastic team.
Hey, Ally team. Welcome to our 2021 annual all-hands meeting. What a crazy year, and at least COVID helped us all at Ally be able to look a whole lot better. So we're glad we have these and have a good-looking team at that. No, really, we're sure glad you're here today. I think you're going to really enjoy the whole day, all the presentations, hearing what's going on around the company.
Hey everyone, wanted to say welcome. Excited to have you all here today. For those of you not wearing pants, we've got your cameras turned off, so you don't need to hide behind your desk. Wish we could be doing this in person. Obviously, we'll probably all feel better in the morning by not being together. But looking forward to the days when we can actually get back together and do this again in person. It's one of my favorite events of the entire year. And the world's thrown us a few curveballs here, but we're here, we're happy, and looking forward to kicking off a great 21 together.
So before we dive into the agenda, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about why we're here. We've come together each of the last, this is our third year consecutive in the 5-year history of the company, get the entire team together for some very important reasons. We've done it in person the last 2 years in Southern California, which has been a tremendous amount of fun and really, really productive. And we got so much value out of it as a team, as individuals, as shareholders. Just because we can't do that this year because of the pandemic, logistically it's very challenging, and we want to accomplish all the same things we did in person and look forward to being in person next year. Now that we've shared why we're here, I want to be a little more specific about what we're trying to accomplish today, a couple specific objectives. Here's the important things. Our customers have facilities all throughout the United States. We're a small team of 50 people with large capabilities serving these big customers, and the reality is that having a central office location where we all go to the same place every day just doesn't, it wouldn't work in this model. We have a distributed human resources model. So we have to get together once a year to keep those lines of communication open. It's one of the big pieces of feedback we got from the team after each of the last 2 meetings is everybody was really excited to learn all the different things we do. And so we'll hear a lot about that today. The diversity of things that we work on across our 7 operating departments, of which we've added 1 new one this year, which you'll all hear about. It's really exciting, and most of us are just, if we're working in electrical, that's what we see. If we're in the applied technology group, that's what we see. We know there's these other things going on, but it's just sort of a blob. So we want to give everyone a solid perspective on Ally, where we've been, where we're going. We want to have departmental updates. You'll hear, not just from me, but from each of the shareholders. The shareholders will be offering some opening remarks, and then we'll go straight to each of our 7 department heads are going to give a 10-minute update on their department, which really is going to fill in some of those blanks and allow you to see some of the exciting things we're doing. We're going to acknowledge challenges that we've had this year, and we're going to celebrate successes. And the challenges, acknowledging those, and we can lament them, we grieve over certain things when they happen, things happen that we wish hadn't. Challenges come up that we want to make things better in the future, and we spend all our time thinking about those things every day. And it gives us a tainted view of who we are because we're all so success driven and we all set such a high standard. We spend most of our time thinking about things that need to be improved. And that can give you a skewed view of what's really happening. So we want to acknowledge those things, but we want to take a step back and really give ourselves credit for the good things we do. And when you look back at the way I'm going to share with you, I think you're going to be impressed. Our culture, their values that we truly share, and so it's not like we're doing it because the business building manual says, have a culture and make sure everybody knows what it is. It's something that is very, very authentic, I think, in this organization. It starts from the founders. You know, Brian, Troy, Sean, when they set out to build Ally, it really came out of a passion for what they were doing and serving their clients and enjoying working together. You know, we joke about the three amigos and we get a lot of mileage out of that, but it really is, you know, the roots of the company and it's fuel, I think, for the guys, and I think it's something we all respond to, and it's part of why we're here and it's been a tremendous success. So here we are, you know, 5 full years later, and we've built a backlog that's going to make us a $50 million company this year. We have 50 plus professionals in 6 offices throughout the United States, and yes, we have our challenges and problems, but yes, this has been a tremendously successful enterprise and will continue to be in the future. We value relationships, not just, you know, we value relationships like we want to make the client like us. Every company wants to do that, but it's the sincerity with which you do that and the purpose and the sense of stewardship that really makes it work. And that's what our clients respond to. So when we say we value relationships more than we value transactions, that's sincere, it's authentic. And one of the things we want to do in a meeting like this is just make that understood and add some depth to what that really means. It's not just a saying on our website. You know, there's a lot of ways to talk about safety, and again, the danger is it's taken as I check the box. You know, the manual says I have to talk about safety and I have to, you know, tell everyone I care about it. And we've checked that box, and that things you say would be perceived in that regard. I can tell you there's nothing more important than going home to your family every day. So I think back to a young man who lost his life working in a company I was employed in 1997. And it was one of the worst days of my professional life, of my life period, to see the impact of that. So we mean it. You know, we work in places that have machinery and equipment that things can go wrong. And we just got served 2 messages this week. There's a Pilgrim's plant where a contractor was working on a roof. One person was killed, and there were several other injuries. It's a contractor working in a Pilgrim's plant, just like we do, walking on a roof, just like we do. So we have to take this seriously. Take the system, the safety system, the meetings we log into, the tailgate talks that we have. You know, really use that time to think about, you know, am I doing everything I can to make sure I go home every day and that everybody around me does too? And I want to share some thoughts with you guys on 2020. A uniquely challenging year, unlike anything I think any of us have had in our lifetimes. As a business, we had to make some tough decisions and just to remain financially solvent. And our priority was, by all means, you know, protect the balance sheet of the company so that we can protect all of our incomes and livelihoods, and that all of us still have a place to go to work. So it's a challenge. We had a tough year. You know, we paid for the privilege of being in business this year. The company lost money. It's never lost money in its history. But we have a solid balance sheet. We have a solid path forward. We protected it. We're able to now be opening things up financially in steps. You know, we have to undo the damage we did last year, but we're going to keep going forward. We're going to keep investing in the business. We have a bright future that we really believe in, and some really exciting opportunities. So success is a funny thing. I think, you know, 2020, we have to redefine success, or at least reframe it. Success is we got through it. We didn't have to tear down our foundation. We built a backlog that we can carry forward. It's easy with all the challenges we've faced to get a view that we're failing, and that's not true. I'm here to tell you, you're successful, we're successful. And my definition of success this year is we respected our relationships and honored them with our clients and with each other. We all are healthy. We have our jobs and our employment and our incomes, and we protected that, and we have a bright future in front of us. So I'm saying time to stop grieving about 2020 and let's celebrate it.
Thinking about 2020, believe it or not, I of all people have not a single story that stands out because there are so many extraordinary ones. What does stand out to me specifically, though, is that everyone, without being asked, changed their job descriptions. Whether an executive, an analyst, an engineer, a site super, or project manager, we all became Ally employees. No task was too small or too tall. We came together and managed to navigate a monumental point in history as one.
You know, what I really wanted to do was have the opportunity to talk to the team and thank them for the great year that they delivered in 2020. It was a very challenging year. COVID rocked everybody's world. Ally was no exception. But we made it through it, right? And I believe we're a better company for it. And I really want to recognize all the frontline team that are with our customers on a daily basis, reassuring them that we can help get them through 2020 and all the challenges that COVID presented.
Going into 2020, I think we all had a good idea of what success looked like. And I think that success, if you had asked me at the beginning of the year, would have revolved a lot around revenue numbers. It would have revolved around adding new customers. It would have revolved around a lot of those other metrics that we look at in business every day. One of the great things about what happened in 2020 is it forces you to stop and think about, what does success really look like? What is it that, going into 2021, hopefully with the pandemic behind us, what is that going to do to our future outlook? And, success, I think, that we achieved in 2020 has absolutely nothing to do with the numbers. It has to do with the fact that we had a team willing to step up, help, jump in where needed. We jumped into the COVID response market and helped our customers. And every one of our team members was willing to pick up a paddle, pick up the oar and get us going in the right direction, even if it was out of their normal daily routines, expertise, whatever that is. So going into 2021, we're all going to have those same revenue goals. We're going to have those same business, type initiatives that we want to achieve. However, success for me in 2021 is going to be continuing that same culture, continuing that same desire of our team to jump in, solve problems for our customers. And I think all of the financial goals and business goals will achieve themselves through that effort. So I'm looking forward to seeing our team continue to step up the way that they did in 2020, going into 2021 and facing the new challenges that the new year brings.
2020, what an amazing year. With so many people ready for 2020 to be over, I was fortunate enough to be in a spot I was able to appreciate all that 2020 brought. More time with your family, slowing down, seeing a perspective of what's going to make us healthy in the future. I complained a bit about being in Delhart, working to clean the barns, but I had a friend of mine mention that I was lucky to be there. And it took me a while to figure out what he meant. And I know it'll mean something different to each of you. But for me, a light went off. It allowed me to appreciate the people around me, my team, my Ally team, my family. Instead of complaining or fighting to get something done, I just felt gratitude. Gratitude to be in a position that I was able to support my team and get something accomplished. I get to. The simple I get to changed my view of 2020. For me, this was a wow moment. We are truly lucky to get to do this together with amazing people, amazing friends, all dreaming and fighting to be the best in the industry, while doing it right alongside of each other. I will tell you with all my heart, I know how lucky I am. I get to do what we do with the people we do. And for that, I'm grateful to be working with all of you at Ally.
I think back to last year when we were finishing up our annual meeting, we were talking about how Ally was going to diversify and always have opportunities to see how we could diversify and find the next thing so that we weren't just a lighting company and run that through and not have any work at the end. Well, little did we know in the next couple months that was going to be a reality, that we were going to have to stop and find that new thing, and we did with looking at COVID measures, taking safety measures for our clients right away, and what a great way that we pivoted. You know, it reminds me of a book that I read this past year. It was called Option B, and it was written by Sheryl Sandberg, the CFO of Facebook. And you might remember, or you might have heard about how her husband in his 40s, he was in his mid 40s, early 40s, died suddenly in Mexico on a vacation from a heart attack. And Sheryl didn't know what to do, couldn't cope with the grief that she had. She had, lost her husband. She was raising her children on her own. And it really hit home to her when it was the father and daughter dance at her daughter's school. And she just told her brother-in-law, I don't know what to do. That's supposed to be, my husband, that was supposed to be her dad there, David, was supposed to be there. And her brother-in-law said, well, he said, we're going to have to kick the hell out of option B because that's all they had. And I look back this year, and while we didn't go through all of that trauma ourselves, Ally really did step up and kick the hell out of option B. Not only did we take some blows, we took the hits of COVID, but at the same time, we look back, we acquired a power factor company. We're still working on merging and integrating our IC and OTG group. We found a great spot for Troy to be able to have a real key part in the hog barns with Ally. So all in all, we came out of that year and kicked the hell out of option B. So we hope that you enjoy the day. We hope that you enjoy the presentations, the updates of where we're going, and we look forward to talking at the end of the program.
The directors of each of our operating units and the vice presidents that have broader responsibilities, we depend on them tremendously within the organization as one that's grown beyond what the shareholders can do themselves. So this really is the team that carries the business forward. You're going to hear from them. And with that, I'd like to introduce Brian, and he's going to set the table for the 7 departmental updates. And I'm very excited to hear what everybody has to say next. Last year in January in Southern California at our annual meeting, we introduced the concept of the Wingman and the Founders Award. It really was the highlight of the meeting, and it's something that I'm very excited to repeat this year.
The Cliff Eubanks Wingman Award. The wingman's role is to protect their partner at all costs, putting the interest of the team first, comfortable that this behavior is its own reward. The Ally service culture is based on this very principle. We know that our success is assured if we hold our partner's interests to be as important as our own. The wingman often toils outside of the spotlight, holding to high standards that they impose upon themselves, not seeking recognition, rather content with the satisfaction of making a contribution and a job well done. While it is appropriate to value, celebrate, and reward this behavior in real time, from this day forward, annually, we will ask ourselves if there is cause to single out a member or members of our team as exceptional examples of the heart of the wingman. The Founders Award in honor of Royal Smith. Ally was founded of necessity and a choice. While we'd like to project on ourselves an abundance of foresight, business building acumen, and an ambition to achieve, the truth is that Ally came into existence simply to solve a problem. The three operating founders came together professionally through happenstance, working together for nearly a decade, employed by the same company. During this time, they formed relationships with each other that to this day grow deeper and more productive. The necessity the founders faced was that, due to the financial failure of the business that employed them, they had to reboot their professional lives. Quite simply, they needed jobs. The choice is what led to the existence of Ally. The three operating founders, while quite different individuals, had several things in common. They loved the business model they worked together, they loved the clients they served, and regardless of creative friction that occurs in any close relationship, they loved working together. They also shared the fundamental values of optimism, loyalty, service, effort, integrity, and problem solving. A bit scarred by the failure of a company they loved, the three founders shared the conviction that going forward, they would control their own fate, work with good people, and provide service with integrity and loyalty. If they failed, they would fail on their own. This became the choice to create their own company, Ally Energy Solutions. The fourth founder was not an operator, rather a loyal friend with a lifelong habit of helping others in need. The individual, while not in the business of investing and not with unlimited means, provided the seed money to help the company get started, never asking for anything in return. This gesture was made out of the same characteristics: optimism, loyalty, service, effort, integrity, and problem solving. The fourth founder passed away in 2019. Proudly wearing his Ally polo shirt even in his final days, he never stopped cheering on the team. As one who lived the ideals that this company was founded on, it feels right that going forward, the Founders Award will carry his name, and from time to time be presented to those who share his character.
Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Wingman Award. I just feel honored to receive an award like this from a company. I've never worked for a company that recognizes their employees like Ally does, and that's a real asset. I think that's why so many people love to work for Ally, is because of the competitiveness and the camaraderie with all the people. I mean, it's just one great big happy family, and I just feel honored to have received an award like this, and a perpetual award with my name on it. It's just unbelievable, so much. And for all the new guys that's coming up and the ones that will receive the awards this year, I congratulate each and every one of you. And I'm looking forward to hearing who it is going to be. And so we can all celebrate it all the time of your success and the whole company's success for this. And I just thank you for being a part of Ally, because we're all one big happy team.
lots of emotions, lots of thoughts or words that came to mind. Probably the biggest one was shocked, and again, it was. Cliff had just received kind of his namesake award and had given a very emotional speech, and we were all, I think, still kind of reeling from that. And then they announced the recipients, and I was one of them. And so I was certainly not expecting it. I was, again, shocked. And so probably for the first time in my life, was also speechless. I couldn't think of a thing to say other than thank you, and then had to sit back down. The thought that kept running through my mind, and I even mentioned it to, I think, whoever was sitting next to me, was, when you look around the room, wow, there are a lot of people that this award could have gone to. Again, I deal with these guys, for the majority of these guys, on a daily or weekly basis. I know the work that goes in, I know the sacrifices made, and that award could have gone to a lot of other people. So, upon, some reflection, after the all hands meeting, and being able to sit down and kind of think about that, I did send an email out to the ownership team and Ray and those guys, and just, thanking them, and again, just being very humbled by receiving that award. It certainly meant a lot to me, and anytime you're recognized for your work, it's good, but having that in that crowd, and knowing so many deserving people were there, just made it that much better. So for this year, I'm excited to see who gets it, because boy, this has been a crazy year with COVID and the changes to our business, the challenges that we faced. Again, I know what these guys put in. I know the guys that sacrifice their weekends and their nights, and all of that to keep us successful. And so, be really exciting to see who gets it this year, and I'm looking forward to that. So, good luck to whoever gets it, and congratulations.
In winning that award, I really didn't even hear my name. I was still pretty emotional over Cliff getting it. And then, it kind of registered, hey, Brian is talking about me. So, I walked up there and got the award. As far as receiving it, I really don't know how I was picked, because, I'm overshadowed every day by tons of people. And, a whole lot goes into what we do. A lot of people are, doing their thing before I do mine. But I'm glad that, the work that I do is recognized. That means a lot. 2020 was a rough year. It started out good by winning that, seeing everybody again for the second year. Can't wait to do that again. But this summer, my kids came to live with me, so my home life really changed, which kind of affects my travel, but we made it where it worked. Still knocking the jobs out. We didn't slow down any on our end. Hope everybody is getting through this safe and is doing okay. And I'm pretty sure the work throughout the company's picked up, and everybody's running and gunning again. And this year, already starting out to be the best year ever. So I hope it keeps going. Don't mind being really busy. We're used to it here at Ally. And here next week, I can't wait to see who wins the new awards. There are so many people that are deserving of it that I can think of, and we'll see who gets picked and see what they have to say. And y'all have a great year. Thank you.
Just an amazing experience to be in the room and see the reaction of everyone. Just passing that award on and knowing what it means to everybody. Those qualities that Royal had. He passed down really just believing in our founders, and our founders really believe in us and what our mission is, and serving our customers every day. It's really awesome that they practice what they preach in that way, and that just no matter what, they keep their word and believe in what we're doing. I think this year, having received the award at the beginning of the year, it really shaped my year, because it set the tone that I knew everybody was working in the same direction. We're trying to achieve the same thing. And I think through this year, just being hit with the challenges of COVID and uncertainties for all our families and our futures, it's going to mean even more this year for this individual, just because we all had to believe in ourselves and each other to get through it. There was no, nobody just threw in the towel. It was all about that spirit of belief that we had what it took, and we may not know, the exact roadmap of how to deal with this kind of a crisis, but we just continued to serve and do what we do. And I just look forward to getting to congratulate that person, and really excited to see the reveal of who it is, and hopefully one day soon just be together and celebrate that.
Now I'd like Troy to introduce our Wingman Award recipients, and then Sean will follow that with the Founders Award.
To wrap up for today, I'm hoping that you all found the time very valuable. We know that everyone's very busy. We understand that there's lots of work out there to do. I think in March, if you had told me we would come into 2021 with a bigger backlog than we had in 2020, I would say that you were crazy, because we definitely felt very good coming into 2020 where we were at the business side. I hope this time today has helped everyone get a good understanding of what's happening across the business, and also understand that, parts of our business can feed other parts of our business. So where we have the opportunity to introduce the DER group with the electrical group, mechanical group, biogas group across all these platforms, I think, understanding what they're doing, hearing what other people are saying, the successes they had, take that forward into our daily operations and say, hey, I wonder if maybe this particular instance isn't a good fit for me. Could it be a fit for somewhere else in the company? We've seen through the addition of the Power Factor group coming in. Mike has jumped in, both feet and trying to bring business to other places, and understanding how all these works and how all these divisions relate, I think is something that I'm hoping the group took away from today, to understand that, hey, we're all on the same team. We all have our own responsibilities, but there's a lot of crossover between our groups and some opportunities that we can share. So, just really thankful for everybody's time, really thankful for the attention and preparation that came into today, and looking forward to hitting 2021 out of the park.
The market for companies like Ally are really strong right now. Even companies that have historically or traditionally not looked at, how much they're consuming in terms of energy, or how much waste they're creating, or what their carbon footprint, that's changing. Most companies, most industries are taking their carbon footprint, their environmental impact, their energy spend, they're taking it very seriously. And we're really well positioned to take advantage of that. Nobody looks at energy at the enterprise level like Ally does. And I've looked at a lot of companies in my career, and I think we're really uniquely positioned to take advantage of this opportunity. So, 2020 was a tough year, but we made it through it. We're better for it. 2021 is going to be a very exciting year for Ally. Our backlog is over $30 million. That's more than twice we started 2020 with. Our pipeline looks very solid. We have to obviously execute on that backlog, and we have to do it safely, not only for ourselves, but for our customers. But I'm confident. We've got a great team. We've got great leadership.
What gets me excited about the future is actually 2020, along with the tremendous momentum we are bringing into 2021, proves to me that Ally is built to last. The integrity and skill set of our team is unmatched.
What I'm most excited to, looking forward to for 2021, is just the addition of all the new products and services that we have. Getting a fully acclimated Power Factor correction group online is going to be great. We're seeing our first cogen project being implemented, having our first, hopefully, full production of gas season ahead of us. Those are the things I'm really excited about doing, but also seeing, our expansion within our existing customer base, turning what have historically been just lighting customers into, backup generation, electrical infrastructure customers. Those are the things that I'm looking forward to for 2021. Seeing the group grow and how the combination of all the different groups and divisions are coming together to really provide us a well-rounded offering to our customers that are spanning well beyond the initial initiatives that we were working with them on.
As we start to close out the first virtual all hands meeting, I want us all to remember how lucky we are, how we get to do what we get to do with the people we get to do it with. I'm excited about our options and growth for 2021 and look forward to seeing you all in person at our next all hands meeting. God bless.
The most important message that I want to convey is that our number one priority and obligation is not to Ally. We all work extremely hard and expeditiously, and I hope have fun in the process. Our number one priority, however, is to our families. Please think safety over all else.
So here's to 2020 being behind us, and here's to a great 2021.
What a day. I heard updates that I didn't even know that Ally was doing or right in the middle of. So fantastic. A lot of excitement going into 2021. When we talk about the enterprise value and the enterprise view, not just for our clients, but as we did today of Ally, going into 2021, I think that we're going to do better at that. And I think just two things that I think if we can focus on as a group, I think would help any organization coming out of what we had in 2020 to now moving ahead to this year. So I think one of them is a quote that was by the author Brad Meltzer, or at least it was attributed to him and a few other people. But it goes something like this. It says, remember that everybody you meet is going through something that you know nothing about. So be kind always. And I think when you look at the enterprise value of who we interact with, our clients or our associates, our friends here at Ally, the folks that we work with, if we can remember that, we've come out of a tough year. There's things that people don't want to tell everybody, and they don't need to tell everybody. But remember, we're all going through something. Everybody's got something that's heavy on their heart. And if we can see past that and realize, oh, that's not a normal reaction to them or whatever, our whole communication will be a whole lot better. And it will certainly help to keep that culture that we fight so hard to keep, that foundation of Ally with. That's one point. Another book I was reading that I think highlights a point that we can work on too and all get better at. It's a book by Malcolm Gladwell. It's called Talking to Strangers. And in the book, he discovered that when he took a look at a study of judges and what these judges, when they have folks in front of them that are, coming up for bail, they have to decide kind of rather quickly whether they deserve bail or whether they need to be retained in jail. And they said that human interaction somehow is faulty because a number of times hardened criminals are let through the system, whereas they did the same input into a computer and a computer wasn't fooled. Or it talks about whole groups of double agent spies, like in Cuba, where there was one time there was a dozen supposedly CIA agents down there working for the US, but they were double agents. And all of their superiors in the United States CIA were fooled by it. And it just shows that no matter what, we need to have our eyes open to all of those professional steps that we talk about every day, like follow-up emails to document our conversations, or making sure that we have our contracts in place, or at least a confirming email or a recognition, just anything to build up that professional status, because even the best of people may make mistakes, they may forget, and it's just, we're dealing with strangers all the time, and it just highlights that even though we like people and we want to be trusting or we want to do things, let's just be sure that we do the professional thing. I think if we focus on that and the other suggestions from the other shareholders and focus on just a few of these things for 2021, we're going to look back and it's going to be another great year. We're going to have another update next year that has shown that we've really grown and that we certainly know that Ally will certainly be in a better place. And with that, let's go into 21.
How's that? Is that okay?
Oh, sorry about that. A pop-up came up on my window. So I'm like, wow, it should know it.
The HR manual is not actually a checklist. It is, in fact, things that are not supposed to happen. So just want to make sure everyone had that, Sean, and that they understood that for today. Sean, so as we move forward, let's make sure that we are all representing ourselves in the way that we're supposed to.
I don't know how I looked before.
Did that. And we were able to find the right spot for Troy and ran at Ally, right in the hog barn.
Come on, nobody gonna know. Can't you see? Can't you see? Lord, what that woman's been doing to me. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see? Oh, that woman, she's been doing to me.
Blah, blah, blah.